So I'm pissed, and I want to find her. And I figure, it can't be that, how hard can it be? I'm just going to look around for the laughing woman, and game over. And I'm looking around, and there's nobody laughing, so I give the security camera a good stare, because I know she's off in a booth somewhere. And then I have to go get in line for the counter, because there's no monkey line. So I wait. By the time it's my turn, I have a full head of steam built up, and I let the lady have it kind of a little, you know. Someone called my house. Flight was 42 minutes late, and so they put me on the 3 o'clock flight, and now that's canceled, so what the fuck am I supposed to do? And so she says, well, please don't say fuck. So, a lot of kids at the airport. So I say, all right, well, I'm just upset at the woman who called my house. I'd like to speak to her, please. And she says, oh, don't worry, we fired her. So I say, well, what are you going to do? And she says, well, we'll put you on another airline's 3 o'clock flight. So she calls them up and starts making little marks on my ticket jacket with a green felt tip pen that I can't believe they're going to honor when I get to the other airline. What's to stop me from getting a green flare pen? I could fly wherever I wanted to, couldn't I? So, but she says it's all squared away, and she hangs up on Judy from Time Life Books, or whoever she was really talking to, right? So she says, all you have to do is go to this other airline's terminal, which is East Jesus, the other side of the airport, for all I know. So I ask, well, how am I supposed to get there? And she says, well, you take the airport shuttle. So I said, all right, well, where do I get that? And she says, oh, it's down on the lower level where the blowing garbage is. So she won't come with me. So I say, where exactly do I wait for the bus? I don't want to blow it. And she says, oh, don't worry. There'll be one leaving right as you come out. So that's where you wait for the next one. So I go down there. Sure enough, there's a shiny bus with a happy, courteous driver pulling away right as I come out. Bye-bye. So it's like the decoy bus. Nobody is on the bus. He just pulls away right as someone looks like they want to get on. And then that way they keep that bus nice. Then my bus shows up with the guy driving who looks like he's on his way to the gun store after work. And I get on. It's the airport shuttle, right? So it only goes around the airport, so it's all other people who have been screwed by life are on this bus. It's like the bus of the damned. They can just once around straight to hell. I get on the bus, and now we're stopping at every turn. The first stop, this guy gets on, who is one of those people that you see at the airport, but that you can't believe that they're going somewhere. Like, how did he get a ticket? Why didn't he buy food? This guy, he's got no bags, and he's that kind of dirty where he's starting to get shiny, kind of. So the shiny guy gets on the bus, and so finally we go around. Finally, we get to my terminal, which is right next to the one I was in, but it's a one-way, so you have to go all the way around. It's kind of a funny counter lady joke. So I go in, and they honor the green squiggle mark, to my amazement, and then they immediately tear it up and burn it in some voodoo ritual thing that I can't. All I can remember is grass skirts and chicken bones flying around. Then I get on the plane, and then they're doing some kind of psychological experiment now on the plane with these snacks that, on the short flights, they used to just give you a bag of nuts, right? And it wasn't a lot of nuts, but those were your nuts. And you knew that. That was your nut ration. And it was, you could do whatever you wanted with it. Eat them all at once, or spread them out on your tray and number them off, however you... Or name them. You could name them if you wanted to. Bob, Larry, Judy, Tim, Tom, Rose. Bob, say goodbye to your little friends. It's a short flight, but you gotta have fun. So now they come around with this basket of all kinds of snacks, like raisins and nuts and candy and cookies and crackers, and you don't know how much you're allowed to take, really. And I'm thinking, go for it all, right? Well, keep the basket as my gift, but the stewardess is right there, so I just start taking things off until her facial expression changes a little bit. Oh, I didn't want, I miscounted with these. This is good for me. So, I made it through, and then I got to San Francisco, and it was the most bizarre. I ended up. That was a bad trip for me because I also on that trip locked my keys in a rent-a-car, and I knew they were in there before the door was all the way closed. That's the worst one, where you do that. It was like I was looking around for a referee or someone who could intervene and get the keys out for me, because technically I knew they were in there. At first, I couldn't believe that I'd done it. You know, I'm feeling around the window for a time warp, or maybe I can open the trunk and pour through the back seat into the, you know. And then finally, there's that just resigned look as you're staring into the locked car